Hey free-to-play gang, welcome back to another video. So I'm not so sure why a lot of you guys are saying that Mateo is mid. I'm gonna prove you wrong today. However, I must say that he is probably not going to be the PvP tanky meta right now. He's not gonna be a part of it because of his over-reliance on his spark to a certain degree. Okay, there is a certain degree. There are certain instances where you can use him, and there are certain instances where he will strive in it as well. But for this video, we're gonna go through a lot more in depth about Mateo and where he's gonna be really good at, and why I do feel like he is a pretty important pool. I do feel like he's not mid at all. I feel like he's actually graded pretty damn well in the PvE landscape right now. Like, there are many content where he's gonna strive in a lot, primarily against boss type enemies. So without further ado, let's start with some minor details pertaining to his kit. But before we get into that, right, if you guys want to check out his skills, here you go. And he has a speed lead in these areas, which is where he strives in a lot as well. So let's take a look at some of the nitty-gritty details that I have discovered as well. So we're going to push Mateo up at... Okay, wait, hold on. Sorry, I made a mistake over there. I got a little bit too excited. Okay, we're going to give him the lifesteal buff, right? And we're going to protect him for a little bit. Now, let's take a look at his third skill once again. Okay, as you can see, they all have buffs, right? So let's target maybe this guy over here, this green guy, right? Okay, so take a look at Fire Punch. Gains 3 stacks of Eternal Flame and inflicts Spark on the enemy for 2 turns. Then attacks the enemy for 3 times, blah 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 blah. And if we do steal a buff, we will gain another 3 stacks of Eternal Flame. So, how many stacks of Eternal Flame are we gonna get because they have a buff here? And we are gonna steal the buff, right? Think about it for a second. Are we gonna get 3? Are we gonna get 6? Or what are we gonna get? And the answer, which will blow your mind, is actually 9. Take a look at this. We have 9 stacks right now. So how did that come around? How did that come to play, right? How did we get 9 and not 6 stacks? So if you take a look at his third skill again, we gain 3 stacks of Eternal Flame by using this skill. We also gain 3 more stacks because we successfully stolen a buff. And we also gain another 3 stacks because we gain 1 Eternal Flame stack for every single time that we get healed. So that's why we got 9 stacks. Okay, but now we have 7 because we got hit by a crit, and therefore that reduced our stacks by 2. But there was also something else that you probably did not get to see because I was talking about something else completely different. So I'm going to show you this again. And right now, I want you to pay attention to the enemy's HP. Okay, so take a look at this, right? He does not have the Spark debuff on himself. So we're going to use his Mateo's third skill to apply the Spark debuff on him. And take a look at the damage that he receives. Take a look at that. Do you see that? Do you capture the white numbers over there? What does that mean, right? What does that white number mean? So the thing is, before attacking, we will inflict Spark on the enemy for 2 turns. Why this is so important? Because we will instantly benefit from the Spark debuff in the skill itself. So when the carrier takes a critical hit, Mateo gains 5% AP, so he actually still gained 15% AP because he triple hit, and dealt extra damage to the target as well. Extra damage is 30% of his attack per hit, which cannot miss, won't land a critical hit, nor trigger elemental boon. So we did another about 3000 damage with his third skill, just because we had about 3000 plus attack power, which means that his Fire Punch actually has an inbuilt spark. It has an inbuilt spark effect, but we will benefit from the spark effect within the third skill itself. This is very, very, very important, and I'll explain why this is so important in just a bit. But I want to show you my first skill again, like Mateo's first skill, right? Okay, now, and before we jump the gun, we will use our second skill this time. And as you can see, when the enemy already has Spark, we will gain 5 stacks of Eternal Flame. So we're going to use this skill, which also double hits. So we're going to land 2 more additional damage based on our Spark effect here. So something like this. Boom. Right? More DPS. Very nice. But that's not all. So we need to test out his first skill as well, because there's something else that I need to show you guys. Very, very important for his kit. Okay, we're going to push him up like so. Let's take a look at his first skill once again, right? Blast Burn. Attacks one enemy twice. Damage is 60% of attack. Each hit has an 80% chance of dispelling 1 buff and inflicts Spark for 2 turns. So it does seem like we are inflicting Spark after the attack, right? But the thing is, if we inflict Spark after the attack, then we're not going to benefit from the AP push. We're not going to benefit from the extra DPS from the Spark itself as well. So please take a look at this. Pay attention to this. Look at this tank over here, right? He has no Spark on himself. Boom! Did you notice that we did extra DPS and we did gain extra AP as well? So the Spark is actually inbuilt into even his first skill. That is so freaking good. That is amazing. Amazing synergy in his kit. And why I stress so much that this is so powerful, let's take a look at his Resonance 2. This, in my opinion, makes him very, very, very broken for PvE content. Okay, I wouldn't say very broken, but it makes him excellent in PvE content, because if the enemy has Spark, Mateo's crit rate is increased to 100% on all of his skills. So his first skill will always have a 100% crit rate. It doesn't matter whether the enemy has Spark or not, unless they are immune to Spark. And his third skill will also always have a 100% crit rate, because he always will apply Spark before landing his attacks. So essentially, he is like similar to Gaius in that sense, but he will always have a 100% crit rate, no matter whatever form that he has. He only has one form, but yeah, he has a perpetual 100% crit rate at R2, which is amazing. It is only his second skill that does not have a perpetual crit rate, or should I say a perpetual 100% crit rate, because it does not innately apply Spark. But if you have your third skill, you go straight into your second skill afterwards, the enemy already still has Spark on themselves, because Spark lasts for 2 turns. So holy damn hell, he is absolutely an R2 Esper right now. I would think so. Like, I think his R2 is probably a lot more important than his R4, and his R2 changes his kit entirely, because right now you don't need crit rate anymore. You can just fully invest into crit damage, fully invest into attack percentage as well, especially attack percentage if you want to scale off his Spark effect, right? So if let's check out what Spark does again one more time. So whenever the carrier takes a critical hit, Mateo gains 5% AP. His first skill itself will automatically push him by 10% AP after attacking. The third skill will actually push him by 15% because triple hits. And you will also deal extra damage to that enemy equal to 30% of Mateo's attack per hit. Which in our case, right, like I said, we have about 3000 attack. So each time the enemy takes a hit, they'll take about 1000 damage, but it is not true damage, so the damage can actually minimize a little bit depending on how much defense the enemy has. Which might be a problem, but the thing is, this will give him so much excess DPS, because if you have other allies supporting him, landing extra crits as well, or landing extra multi-crits, that is going to push his DPS output of his Spark by an insane amount. And that is why he is excellent in all of these areas where his Captain ability actually strives in. So Ritual Miracles, up against bosses, really good. Sonic Miracle, also pretty decent because there are bosses there. Desolate Lens, maybe only Shadow Stream, but this is like up for testing and I can't test on this account right now. And Sentinel Hunt, excellent in Sentinel Hunt. Let's take a look at Sentinel Hunt right now. So we're going to face off against the Ferbeter projection here, and he has the 35% speed, which is insanely good. So powerful for this content, right? We're also going to back him up with Elaine. Like I said, Elaine is going to be one of the best Espers to protect him, or rather to work with him, because she has a lot of multi-hits. And yes, I actually went ahead to max skill her, because I do feel like Mateo and Elaine, they're going to be very potent in a lot of different PvE content, very similar to Embla as well. So we're going to be using all of these Espers just to abuse his kit, and we're going to have a lot of multi-attacks, AP push, all that kind of stuff. So actually, hold on, Embla, you need a little bit more crit rate. Just give me a sec. Okay, never mind, it's a little bit impossible for me to increase my crit right now, so I'm going to use Alice instead of Sienna so that we have the extra crit buff, so that Embla has like 100% crit, okay, like 90% crit rate. So this is going to be the team, and let's see how this performs. Now, the thing is, because we have the speed lead, we are going to take a lot more turns, right? Okay, wait, hold on. Auto this. Okay, so we are going to work really well with Unas here, because Unas is going to push our AP a lot. We're going to work really well with the speed up buff, because that multiplicatively affects our total speed. And we're just going to be able to... Okay, there is a little bit of a synergy loss there. So we need to apply the Spark first before Elaine moves. So Mateo needs to be probably like the fastest Esper in this lineup, followed by Embla, followed by Elaine. But whatever it is, I think Mateo still needs to be like the fastest, that's all. The rest is like, okay. I mean, okay, wait. I'm not talking about Unas, I'm not talking about Alice. Yeah, so it's just Mateo, and Elaine needs to be a little bit slower. Okay, as you can see, right, whenever we are attacking, we are inflicting that portion of damage that comes from Mateo, and that was like 2,700 plus. And the reason why it is doing so much, I think, is because of the attack buff, number one. And number two, we are also gaining some stacks from Mateo's Eternal Flame as well, which increases our attack, I think. But at the same time, you know, this is probably not like the best combo, because we are also lacking the Ahmed synergy here. Ahmed is probably one of the best Espers to run with Mateo, but because we're talking about Ferbeter right now, it's probably not a good idea to run Ahmed here, because all he really does is to heal. So I don't think he's actually gonna like strive very hard in this current rotation. But that's not to say that Ahmed is not going to be useful in bossing content, because there are other bosses in this game, like like Sonica, for example, right? Sonica is going to be where Ahmed really strives a lot with Mateo. Okay, because we ran out of our Elaine, we ran out of sleep debuff, I mean, so we are kind of clapped over here. But 2.6 million, not bad on an account with absolutely no equipment whatsoever, right? We have like completely nothing on this account. So let's actually take a look at the battle results. I'm actually very curious to see. Oh wow, Embla did so much. Wow, I'm actually surprised. And I'm actually quite surprised that Mateo didn't do that much. I thought he would do like an absurd amount of DPS just maybe it's because whoever's dealing damage to the boss with the spark debuff, they will get added DPS. I'm not sure, but then again, Embla is also really broken. I'm not actually super surprised. But yeah, so this is going to be the first test. Let's take a look at another test. Now for this showcase, I want to test out the Chimera phase 1. And I know there's probably like some bug happening here. I'm not actually very sure what the bug is. But I think things are still pretty okay right now that I can showcase this. But anyway, he has a speed lead here as well. Very nice. So even though it's not explicitly stated that he covers the Celestial Anomaly in his buff itself, I'm actually super happy that this actually takes place over here. Okay, so in this setup, we will be using Ahmed together with him and Elaine as well. I feel like this synergy is really good. But like I talked about earlier, I think we should reduce the speed of Elaine just so that she takes turn 2 and Mateo takes turn 1. Okay, so I tweaked his stats a little bit, so now he has a little bit more speed than Elaine, which is perfect for our showcase. His stats are really terrible, by the way. Look at all his stats. Like, his attack power is really low. His crit damage, I think, honestly, we do not need to load him with that much crit damage. I think it's more important that you have attack on him just because of the spark debuff that we can abuse. So yeah, something like this. And obviously, you want to have a little bit more crit across your entire team. So it might not be a bad idea to run Elaine lead so that you give crit rate across to all your Espers. And that would effectively push Mateo's AP a lot more and land more of the extra DPS as well. But let's take a look at this, this run, see how it works. Pretty cool, I must say. Here comes the Fire Punch. Nice, instant 15% AP, right? And more AP push. And now Mateo is going to take the turn real soon. Like, Mateo is going to attack again. It's crazy. And he already has... How many stacks is there? I can't even see, right? So tiny. I don't know, but it's like, I think at least 10 stacks. Can't even tell, what the heck. But the most important thing that we need to happen over here is for Ahmed to heal Mateo so that he gets a lot of stacks, a lot of supporting song, and his own Eternal Flame as well. Now, there are a lot of other mechanics in this boss fight that I'm not going to talk about, like how the boss fight actually works and why there is a level 2 effect over here which can be reduced to level 1, can be reduced to level 2 as well, to level 0 as well. That's going to be like the goal, but that will be for a different video. But as you can see, this team is working out really nicely, and I do feel like this team is potentially going to be one of the stronger teams, I would think. So have all of these Espers at your disposal, and don't worry about it, because the Raging Lion is Shimmer type. You don't need to worry about like the typing and all that. You can use most Espers. But as you can see, now the boss, that level thing, right, is going to go down to 0. So there is another combo that isn't Elaine. You can also use Louis. Louis hits 9 times on his 3rd skill, and that will push Mateo's AP by 45%. It's actually really insane. And you're going to stack a lot of DPS because he hits 9 times, right? So imagine like you'll be dealing 9 times 30% of Mateo's attack, which is 270% attack. Not true damage, but it is still going to be good DPS. It's free, it's like additional DPS. And so you guys also brought up the use of Yunchuan. Yunchuan with him, I have tested Yunchuan out. The dog does not actually give the 4th attack. So you don't gain 4 stacks of AP on Mateo by using Yunchuan here. You only gain 3 stacks of AP. 3, or rather should I say 15% AP by using Yunchuan's normal attack. Essentially what I mean is that the dog, or any kind of like assist attacks, right, like the dog attacks, will not add to the spark debuff effect. I think we're going to get clapped very soon when the boss lands his level 4 ultimate attack. We probably can't stop it, and therefore we are probably going to die. So there is no power boost in this particular boss fight. There is none. It's just his ultimate attacks that get a little bit stronger over time, which is what is possibly going to wipe you. So I do feel like maybe having slow debuff, like running a Yunchuan, is probably not a bad idea, and running a lot of buff extensions as well, so that you know, you just make sure that all the important debuffs are always on the boss. Actually, maybe it's not that important, right? Because it seems like we're lapping the boss really well. So at the very least, just have slow debuff on the boss. I think that is super important. Oh, we actually managed to prevent the level 4 ultimate. We actually reduced it to level 1. Nice. And now level 0. Amazing. Mateo is super good for this boss fight. This Raging Lion in particular. He's amazing. Oh my god, my dumb ass. I just forgot to equip equipments on Ahmed. My Ahmed is like completely naked right now. He's level 50. No equipments whatsoever. GG. Oh my god, that's it. He died, we are screwed, that's it. We're actually doing so good even without equipment on Ahmed. And the reason for that is because Mateo is just taking way too many turns. He gains so much AP in this current team. It's crazy, man. He gains so much AP, it's insane. Alright, so that's it for the run. We got triple S, which is a brand new record for us, I think. And this run took us freaking long. I think it took us about more than 10 minutes. I think it took us about 15 minutes or something like that. Mateo! Good damn DPS, dude. And well, obviously Embla is gonna be really good here as well because we can debuff the boss. So maybe Embla would have like, I don't know, 2 million score by like something like that, right? What's that? No, maybe 20 million or something like that. Yeah, but anyway, Mateo definitely going to be an R2 Esper 100% because his third skill instantly always gonna have 100% proc, 100% crit rate. First skill also always gonna have 100% crit rate. His second skill will also always have 100% crit rate unless the boss is immune to debuffs. Or actually, you know what? If any boss or anything is immune, he is not going to have 100% crit rate. So there is going to be that gamble. But for the most part, him having 0 crit rate at R2 is still going to be a thing for most bossing content in this game. So that's it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, don't forget to thumbs up. It really helps the channel. And subscribe for more Dislyte content. Now with that said, this has been Free to Play. And as always, I will see you in the next video.